This is why I would not start a property business in 2022. This is not a flex. This is just holes in your pockets. Trust me, I've lost bare jeans. My name's Naeem. I'm a business owner and I have absolutely nothing to sell you. For those of you that don't know me, I quit my job working as a management consultant about a year and a half ago when I was working at KPMG. I started my property business and now I've got about 16 units under management. So you can say I know a thing or two about property. Property is a great way to store your wealth and build your wealth, but I do not believe it is the best way to make cash flow. If you're watching this, I'm going to assume you're broke just like I was. And the one thing you need to do before you even focus on building wealth is that you need to de-link your time from the money that you earn. You need a predictable amount of money, cash flow, that comes in every month so you can have your time back. And then we can use this excess cash flow to build your wealth. But for now, we need to get your freedom back. Number one, property is very hard to scale because it's a physical asset. You might be able to own a bunch of properties in London, but it becomes increasingly difficult to go global. You are restrained geographically. It's a bit like owning a corner shop or owning an online store. One can reach a global audience and sell far larger volume. And the other one is physically constrained by its location. Number two, it requires a lot of capital. And yes, I bootstrapped my whole business, but you have to get good at raising money. And for a lot of beginner business owners, that can be quite hard, especially if you don't have a proof of concept or you don't have any experience. Number three, there is significant time lags in realizing money in property. People will say shit like, oh, I made 100 grand flipping my house. But how long did it take? If it took a year, then you actually made 8 grand a month. And to be honest, there's easier ways of making that money. Property is very resource and time intensive. And if you don't already have sufficient cash flow, most people can't wait that long to even get paid. Number four, labor, systems, and automation. Because your business is based in the UK, you will have to pay British rates for labor. And that's expensive. Compare that to other businesses where you can outsource labor abroad to third world countries and pay a fraction of the price. You can systemize, but it becomes difficult to add levels of automation because you require physical labor, gas technicians, electricians, handymen to actually deal with the day-to-day maintenance. And again, that increases your overheads. And this all affects your profit margin. You want a business that you can run with like 2 people. Having a bunch of people work for you is not a flex. It just adds more complexity to the business and there's more individual points of failure where things can go wrong. Regulation and changes in laws. I won't lie, it's becoming increasingly difficult to be a landlord nowadays. The tax changes are cutting your profits. Energy prices are on the up, so if you run HMOs, that's really cutting into your profit margins. And it's so difficult to evict a bad tenant. And these all become liabilities on your business. To wrap this up and give you guys some hope, you want a business that you can scale globally, that does not require a high amount of capital to get involved, that has high profit margins, a business that you can outsource, systemize and automate, essentially leveraging cheap labor from abroad. And if anything was to go wrong, there is not severe consequences in dissolving or closing down your business. Drop a comment if you want to hear about the new way of doing business.